Okay, so once again, Happy New Year, everyone. My name is Damola Felicia Badmos, and it's great to be here with you today, this Saturday evening. I hope you're having an amazing time. I hope you're enjoying your weekend and no more stress this weekend. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about how to build a strong personal brand as a coach. And hopefully the session is going to last for 1 hour, and hopefully we don't extend this, but you might just permit us if we have more people to contribute. I'm going to be going to much of the details. So how we're going to be doing the program, for today is that I'm just going to run through my entire presentation before I bring more people on board. So as of last year, what I used to do with my audio events was I was going to record it and then post on my YouTube channel, but I stopped. But I'm going to be doing that again this year. So conversations like this, which rather than me doing a separate podcast recording, which takes a lot of time, this is just going to be in my official podcast session. So it's going to be a live session. Then afterwards, I get to edit and then post on my podcast channel. So if you get to contribute, you can always listen to yourself once again. Also, the podcast streaming platform we have Podbean, we have Spotify, we have Apple Podcast is also going to be going back to YouTube as well. Then speaking of YouTube, I'm just going to give more information about myself later, but today is not about me, it's about you. So we know that personal branding is a must-have for everybody. I mean, it's a conversation that we never can stop having. So when we say that, how can coaches build a strong personal brand? It's a lot of conversation to have. Now, we know that coaches are very important people in our day-to-day lives. A lot of people are life coaches. A lot of people are health coaches. A lot of people are different kind of coaches, business coaches. But then when we look at it like, okay, how can they now start bringing themselves online? Some of them are online, but some of them are not really using their social media presence and Google presence, online data presence, and all of those things. So also, one question that we should ask, especially when you're a coach, is that for people to buy into what you do, you have to give them a reason why. It's one thing to have something to sell. It's another thing for people to buy into what you do. I mean, I've seen situation, even real life practically, where you might be very good at what you do, but the truth is that it doesn't mean everybody is going to buy from you. And when it comes to coaches, there are different ways people brand themselves. The branding of a banker, how a banker puts himself or herself online, is quite different to how a creative will bring himself online. International Coaching Federation, they define coaching as partnering with clients in a thought-provoking and creative process that inspires them to maximize their potential and professional goals. So that means that they empower people to bring the best out of them. And the truth is that if you do not see yourself as someone that is helping people, it's going to be difficult for people to trust you in the online world. I mean, just yesterday, I discovered that I broke the jinx of caring about what people have to say about me online. Yes, it's a good one, but there are some limitations that you might have if you're always constantly thinking of, okay, what do people have to say about me? Say, for example, you want to put yourself out there. Maybe you have a thought that you want to share with people, but then you're having that fear of, oh, what is people going to say? The truth is that whether you like it or not, people are still going to talk regardless. So if you keep holding yourself back, if you keep holding what you can do for people back without showing it online, you might just be wasting your potential. So bring yourself out there, say whatever it is you want to say. Over time, you'll begin to refine your thoughts and also get better. So in terms of branding for coaches, you know, how you dress, for example, how you work, your tone of voice, your energy, all of these things sort of compasses what a coach is. And if people want to come to you as a coach, they want to see some of these criteria in you. If you say that you're a fitness coach, what if you just bring yourself out there and you are not presenting how you're not even showing the fitness in yourself. I remember when I was 7 back after university, I went to a gym and the instructor had a big belly. And I was trying to fit, and he was the one saying, "Oh, go for it, do it. Give us tax to run around." And I'm like, this man has a big belly. How am I supposed to be inspired? So that is how it is. You have to show yourself to your audience. How you want people to perceive you is how you should present yourself online. So when you have a strong, authentic personal brand working for you 24/7, you're going to see income and impact. So it's an ongoing process. So with questions that, as a coach, what are some of the questions that you're supposed to ask yourself when you're trying to brand yourself online? Because sometimes your driving factor is what's going to help you over time. There are sometimes that we just feel discouraged, we feel tired, but there are some questions, typical questions that you just have to go back to your drawing board to figure out, okay, why did I start this thing? So for example, what drives you into coaching? Why would you want to reach more people with your personal brand? What makes you stand out from any other coach in your coaching niche? I had a conversation with somebody some days ago, and like everybody else, he asked a very uncomfortable question, and it was, what makes you different from everybody? Now, a lot of us, we sort of have this answer in our head, but the truth is that when somebody asks us, we have to go back to think again, because sometimes what you think might be different, or what you think makes you different from other people, might just be normal to other people. So that question sort of made me uncomfortable, and at that point, I had to think for some minutes for me to be able to answer the question. Because the truth is that everybody are doing what you do. And not maybe everybody are doing what you do, but there are sometimes that a lot of people are just into whatever services that you offer. So that distinct character or that distinct personality, which you would build over time. The truth is that you can't make people form a perception of you overnight. It has to be an ongoing process. It has to be a form of refining. For example, how do you speak, your tone of voice? I started doing YouTube. I started recording myself by back camera, which was uncomfortable. I mean, it's easier for you to just pick up your phone and record yourself just with your front-facing camera because it's comfortable. But the moment you begin to record yourself with your back camera, that is very uncomfortable, especially for someone that is not used to it. So you're coming out of that comfort zone, and over time, doing the same thing over and over again would now make people say that, okay, this person, I can relate with him or her. And because you've been doing that through consistency, people are eventually going to buy into your idea. So what are the 4 pillars of a unique personal brand as a coach? Number 1, being authentic. So the truth is that when you're authentic and you're real, it's easier for people to want to relate with you. And being authentic, obviously, people say that you just have to share your why story. Why are you into this? And I also want to say that it's not compulsory you share some things that you don't want everybody to know. I myself, I don't share my entire life online. I have my relationship. I show my partner once in a while, but it's not when I try to weigh, okay, how many percentage my relationship has to and my personal brand, I can maybe say like 10%. So it depends on what you want to show to people. There are some people, maybe you are a business coach, for example. Your why story can be like, okay, you've been in business and you failed a couple of times and you've been able to find a way to bring yourself back up and make a lot of money. Then you're trying to bring out your story. And so because people want to know the reason why you're doing something, if somebody asks me, okay, Dami, why are you on LinkedIn? I like to say that, okay, I came to LinkedIn because I wanted to get clients from my photography business. And this is the same story that I keep saying anytime I'm being asked, because that is the truth. If I try to come here to say, oh, I just came to LinkedIn because I just wanted to be nice to everybody, that is not going to work because everybody wants to know your why. If you're someone that is a lifestyle coach, for example, what is your why? Some people reason for going into maybe lifestyle coaching is that they've not been very confident in where they were coming from before. But over time, they began to see themselves in a better light. Some people who are book coaches, yeah, that means they help people write their books. Some of them, why can be they've seen how important books are for people to have, and so they want to encourage people to write more books. Those are your why story. And so when you're being authentic with the story you share, I'm still going to go into how you can present your brand online, but these are just key pillars of what a personal brand is about. There are some people that are very blunt. I mean, while in my time away, I was just going through LinkedIn and checking a couple of people's content. And some people use a lot of foul languages, right? And to you, you might not be comfortable doing that. But there are some people that are very, very comfortable using vulgar languages. And many of them still come out to show themselves. And the truth is that because of the vulgar languages they even use, it doesn't stop their ideal audience from listening to them. So they came out in their best form, regardless of what other people had to say about them. Because the truth is that we all can be the same. And no matter how you think you have the best morals, other people are not going to be like you. So the idea of having an open mind, especially in the data realm, can really, really, really go a long way. So being authentic is the first pillar. Once again, if you're just joining us, my name is Damola Badmus, and we are talking about how to build a strong personal brand as a coach. You haven't missed much. We are still letting the cat out of the bag. Okay, so the second pillar is reliability. That means that people should know that you are reliable. So when somebody comes to your DM and they send you a message today, even when you see it, so sometimes I might be guilty of that, being able to respond to them, especially maybe your potential clients come to you today. How long does it take for you to respond to them? In terms of showing up on social media, if you tag yourself as a coach and then you just show up 1 week today and you don't come online to the next 4 weeks, it might not make people want to relate more with the kind of content or with your social media presence. So you have to be reliable. You have to make people know that, see, I'm here. And being reliable also means that you have to be consistent. Your audience has to see you. Your audience has to know that you are available for them. So the idea is just for us to keep showing up regardless. If you're someone that drops emails all the time, disappearing for like 2 years and coming back a year after might not do the work. And if you think that, okay, being consistent all the time might not be beneficial for me, you can create a schedule and say that, you know what, maybe I just want to post a newsletter once a week. And we all understand that life happens, but whenever you're back on your feet, just keep going at it. The third thing for personal branding is the pillar is confidence. Now, this topic of confidence, the truth is that it is very, very important. And even though it might be hard for other people, especially people that are introverts, but the truth, and for me, how I've been able to build my confidence over time is being creative and just doing things outside of my comfort zone. So when I mean being creative and outside of my comfort zone, as an introvert, we really like our space. And because people that are extroverts are more likely to be very open to talk to everybody, for introverts, it's a little bit different. And how I've been able to overcome mine is by writing and maybe doing videos here and there. For people that are following me, you'll notice that I've just been posting things back to back ever since I resumed this week, and that is because I'm really working on not being afraid to post as many things as I want, not being afraid to get my ideal clients, because it's one thing for you to show up on social media, maybe for fun. Is another thing to realize that, you know what, my income is actually from social media. And if I don't give it 100% attention, I'm going to get broke and nobody is going to pay me. And I've also realized that the truth is that nobody is paying attention. You just have to be you, keep posting as much as you want. And the more you do this, the more you keep talking to the camera, the more you keep writing that newsletter, the more you keep improving on your grammar, the more you keep attending events and contributing, you realize that your confidence level is growing back. So I wrote here that a confident coach is someone who radiates certainty and gives the audience a sense of knowing that you believe in what you teach and share. So it's one thing for you to tell people, okay, this is what you should do. It's another thing for people to see that you are actually doing it. So I was going through YouTube some days back because I was trying to make a research on something. And one of the comments, because I like to read comments a lot because I like to hear what people are thinking. And I think that we all should also adapt that as well. Whenever you're reading whatever content it is, maybe video, maybe post, it's just interesting to read comments so that you can have an idea of how people are thinking, so that the same mistake the person that created that content is making, I'm sure that a lot of audience would really look into that and give their opinion. So learning from people's comments can give you an idea of what you should do and what you should not do. So I was going through the comments, and one of the people that commented said that, are you using the same thing that you're telling us? I think he was, the person was talking about how to record on your phone. Yeah, maybe how to record a podcast on your phone or something. And I think that person doesn't really do that. So somebody commented and asked, oh, are you doing the same exact thing? So if you can let people know that, see, whatever it is that I'm teaching you, I also do the same thing myself. And that way, it saves you a lot of unnecessary conversation because you can defend whatever it is that you are telling people. So you have to be confident, keep sharing your message, your values, your story again and again. Check what is working, check what is not working, and continue to improve on yourself. The last one is a value. So as a coach, you need to choose and live by your strong values. Your values can be confidence, creativity, honesty, integrity. So those are some of the pillars. Number 1, you have to be authentic. Number 2, you have to be reliable. Number 3, you have to be confident. Number 4, you have to have values, because your values is what is going to speak for you. We have the internal branding and we have the external branding. So the internal branding is about your branding cause. That is what makes you as a person. What is your interest? What is your style? How do you want people to perceive you? We have the brand story. What makes you who you are? What is that story that you can share with people that people would be interested in talking to you? We have your brand strategy. Why do you exist? What makes you different? Who are you talking to? All of these things are part of your internal brand, your mission statement, your brand tone, your brand personality. Like I said, for me, my brand personality is more of the calm person. But there are some people that I have a bit of calmness and also the fun side. I've not started showing the fun side because I feel like it's not your time. And it's understandable as humans that we tend to change a lot. So how you were last year might probably be different from how you're going to be for the rest of the year. So it's okay for you to change. Life happens to different people, but just remember that it's okay to be happy. So the next one again is now marketing and business development. Social media, digital marketing, all of these things make up marketing, especially trying to bring yourself out there as a coach. And there are different ways that we market ourselves. We have the running ads. I mean, a lot of us would have seen this on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, even on Google. That's through the FI, the SEO, and click ads. A lot of people use that method to gain people to their coaching program or to their coaching classes. But the truth is that when you're just starting out, it's just better to avoid marketing, especially when you do not have the budget. I like to see personal branding as a way of getting clients or getting business leads without you spending much money. So what are the different forms of marketing yourself through social media? We have utilizing technology. So as a coach, you should not be shy to embrace new technology and try different things that are in vogue now to make your business worthwhile. So understanding that as a coach, it's just better for you to research a lot of things, try a lot of resources and tools to make your coaching worthwhile. Number 2 is to use social media. Now, for social media, there are different ways that you can explore in terms of building your coaching business. So we have producing podcasts and webinars, creating Facebook pages and groups where you have conversation with people, utilizing videos on YouTube. For LinkedIn, you can do LinkedIn Live and use the same video on YouTube and Facebook as well. There are also, I had a conversation with somebody that he said that traditional marketing is still working well. So like doing advertisements on TV, on radio, print media, and also events. Number 3 is using hashtags. So in building your brand, you can also make use of hashtags because by placing a hashtag before a word in your post in most social media sites, it's easier for people to get to find you. So let's say you post out a content on LinkedIn or you write a content out, you can just use maybe hashtag coach, because a lot of times I myself find that using hashtags also can make you get some results quicker. So maybe when you're putting out a content, just try to use relevant hashtags. Say, for example, you are a lifestyle coach or you are a coach that helps people transition into the best version of themselves. So you can try to research some hashtags so that you can impute it into your content. So when people are searching for that keyword, your post can come out. And when people find your profile interesting, they can just come to your DM and send you a message. Another one again is to be active on social media. Now, it's one thing to be on social media, is also another thing for you to be active. Though this I understand that it can be tricky, but you just have to find a way, because when you are active and when you respond to people, you engage with other people, it's easier for people to want to relate with you. Say, for example, you put out a post. It's fine if you're busy, but still try to find a balance. So if, for example, you put out a post and maybe somebody comments on it, maybe if you're busy at that point in time, you can always come back and respond to that post. So if for somebody say, oh, lovely post or something, you can just maybe just use like or just say thank you. Another way is to utilize your existing contact. So that means that you can follow other people, follow other coaches, tell people about what you do, your business, and in that way, you can get more people to know you and also buy from you. And that way is also expanding your services. Now, I know that a lot of coaches do one-on-one. So as a coach, you can expand what you do by doing group coaching rather than one-on-one. You can also have events, seminars. If you can afford a physical event, you can also do events that are online. And you might not get the kind of results you want day one, but the more consistent that you are, the more likely people are going to buy from you. And I think so far, through experience, audio events are very good because number one, you don't have to start worrying about your lighting. Even maybe you're in a dark place or you don't have the resources, or maybe you have a lot of generator sound, or maybe you are just out and you don't have that leverage of turning on your camera. Audio events can make you comfortable. And because it's audio as well, you don't get to have a lot of panic attacks or who is watching my video. Because the truth is that people would always be present anytime, any day. If you do your audio events by 1 p.m., even if it's just 2 people in the room, it's better than nothing. And so you can start leveraging audio events. And then maybe when you have enough resources, you can now maybe venture into doing advertisements to make people come for your physical event, or you do a masterclass online. Then another way you can build your brand as a coach is to write your own book. Now, by writing and publishing your book, your customers or your clients can also have another way of finding you. And because people can see what you do, it's easier for them to trust you, because a book shows your expertise and it builds your credibility and it helps you to create that celebrity status. You might not sell up to 1,000 copies. You might not even make the bestseller of the year, but that idea of you can always let people know that this is my work. And even as a coach, rather than you thinking of, oh, what do I want to say, you can always go back to your book and reference it to make content out of it. Another way that you can build your brand as a coach is to collaborate with other coaches. Another way to build your brand as a coach as well is to have what we call a coaching social enterprise, meaning that you have to do some things for free. So if, for example, you are a new coach, you're just starting your coaching business, for you to get testimonials, for you to get people that would back you up, because a lot of people always say that, okay, show me what you've done. A lady came to my DM some days ago. Even though I do LinkedIn optimization, because I do so many things, I don't really hammer so much on me doing LinkedIn profile optimization. So she came to my DM to say, oh, hi, Demi, I see that you do this. What have you done? No, before that, she asked me that, what can you do? And then I told her what I can do. And then I just gave her the idea to go to my website, because it's easier rather than me repeating the same thing I do. I just told her, I gave her my services page. So she just went to she should go to the service page and see what it is that I do. And then she came back to say, how much is the price? Even though the price was on the website, but like they say, customers always right? So I told her. She came back again to say, can I see a sample of what you've done? And luckily, I've done something like that for somebody, and I have the before and after picture and also the testimonial from the client. And then I sent it over to her, and then she just asked another question, but I'm not going to go into that detail. What I'm just trying to say is that sometimes people want to see what you have done. And if you're just starting your coaching business, you can just start doing things for people for free. And that way you can have resources to show other people when they ask you, and you can be able to use that in turn to get testimonials from clients. Another way to build your brand as a coach is also to have a website. Website is very, very important, because the truth about websites is that sometimes a lot of people say they don't have visibility on the website, which is understandable. But the idea of a website is that it just saves you so much headache. That's the truth, because if you have your services listed on your website, or what you can do, or let's say how much you charge, rather than you repeating, this is just one of the benefits of having a website. In my opinion though, rather than you explaining yourself from the scratch, just give the person a link to your website, the person checks it out, and you're good to go. Another way that website helps you is because it helps you rank high on Google. So if, for example, you're a coach, and let's say your name is Richard David. So you can have richarddavidcoaching.com or richarddavidcoaching.co.uk, or whatever name that it is that you have. When somebody searches your name and maybe types Richard David on Google, because of your website, your name is going to rank high. That's your website is going to rank high on Google, which in turn can help you and your business. Another way that you can build your brand as a coach, which is the last one, is to create a PR hub and a self-help hub. That means your PR hub can be your blog that you can use to promote yourself, because your blog also can go a long way. If you think that, doing a blog is quite complicated, you can do a LinkedIn newsletter. That itself can also work. And this year, I'm really prioritizing resharing and repurposing my content. So this is what I mean. Rather than you having to write content over and over again, you can say, for example, you write a blog or you write a content that is very solid. Say, for example, I write a long form content of how to build a strong personal brand as a coach. I can decide to say, you know what? In building my PR hub, I can turn this to a newsletter, still have the same conversation as a LinkedIn audio, transcribe or record the LinkedIn audio, turn it to a podcast, put it on my podcast channel or my YouTube. And then over the course of the week, I can begin to just take some short quotes or some short nuggets from this same post and turn it to a 1 week content. So that way you are killing like 10 birds with one stone if that is possible. So the conclusion of this is that to be a successful coach, your success really depends on various factors. Your perseverance, how much are you willing to continue what you do? Your attitude, how do people perceive you? Are you a snobbish coach? Are you someone that is not friendly? Your positioning, how do you position yourself online? How do you set your place on the digital field? Your branding and your marketing. We already mentioned, if you have the budget for marketing, fantastic. If you don't, you can still leverage your branding by posting content on social media, sending messages, connecting with people, letting people know who you are, even though they don't know you 100%, but let them to say that to an extent, I know Mr. Z. Your credibility and your contact matter as well. And lastly, you need to have the ability to be liked. It's something that we all need to learn, even though it's hard. But the truth is, not everybody that will like you. But you just have to try to make people like you. And that is true how you position yourself, how you speak with people. And over time, everything would work together. So this is what I have for you today, how to build a strong personal brand as a coach. You can start raising your hands if you have any questions or contribution. I'm just going to go back to list some of the things that I have here. In terms of pillars now, so 4 foundational pillars as a coach: being authentic, being reliable, being confident, being value-driven. Another way, now talking about marketing and business development, how can you market yourself as a coach? How can you develop your business as a coach? Number 1, utilize technology. Number 2, use social media. Number 3, use hashtags. Number 4, be active on social media. Number 5, utilize your existing contact. Number 6, expand your services using events. Number 7, write your own book. Number 8, collaborate with other coaches. Number 9, build a coaching social enterprise. Number 10, have your coaching website. Number 11, create a PR hub like your blogs, webinars, videos, YouTube, and all that. And before I hand the mic over to other people that wants to speak, I offer consultation sessions to people. How it works is that we have a consultation together to know what you need regarding your branding, let's say for a quarter. And then I put all of this in a document, sometimes 5-6 pages, depending on how much we've spoken about. And then I give you content ideas for the next 3 months, so you don't have to worry about content ideas. And then I also have a follow-up meeting with you, and that costs £200 for the meeting, including the strategy session. And if you also want other services like LinkedIn page optimization, content writing, not everybody can write content, so if you need help with writing content, we also offer those services. So now I'll hand the mic over to Aaron. Are you there?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, loud and clear. Good evening.
All right. Thank you so much, Damilala. This event has been amazing. Thank you so much. I just wanted to throw in a little here and there. So you spoke about personal branding with reference more to coaches. And I'm sure that there are a lot of people that are in the event that are not just coaches. Some are holding down a job. And some people might just feel, okay, well, I'm not selling any coaching services. I'm not doing anything in that regard. So this is not for me. So I just wanted to bring in one aspect, and that is personal branding is not just about you selling. You don't need to wait until you resign from your 9 to 5 to build a brand that people can trust and buy from. All right. So in that regard, what I'm going to focus on is your words, how you use your words. Both the online and the offline space is almost crashing into each other right now. And there's this saying that the internet never forgets. So it's very important, even if you're not posting content on LinkedIn or a full-blown content on any of the social media, how you comment on issues online matters a lot. You can just think you're just giving out an innocent comment on an issue, and then the way you put it can actually be offensive, and you will be surprised that one day you want to do something and someone just digs up that comment and brings it up and it's standing against you. All right. And as much as possible, especially we that are here over in Nigeria, a casual meeting like at an ATM vestibule, you can just be standing, you don't know who is standing next to you, and then the topic is going on about the economy, about how things are going in the country, and then you just open your mouth to give a careless comment. You don't know who might be standing beside you. The next day, or maybe months later or years later, you might be at a job interview, and then lo and behold, you don't even remember the person, but the person remembers you vividly because of the comments you make, and then probably this will stand against you from getting the job you deserve because of the words you speak. Words are very powerful. It is important whether you say it audibly or write it as a text. It is important that you project an image of what you want people to remember you by. What kind of feeling do you want people to have when they come in contact with you? It's very important that you project the right image, because in the end, people will actually tilt towards who you are. That is your most important personal brand, not even any business you're building. It is who you are. The reason why people tilt towards Damilola is because of the person she is. She's very huge on LinkedIn, but she's very welcoming. She's very warm. You know, she gives you a warm welcome anytime you come. She's very approachable. And that is why people actually, even though she doesn't aggressively sell like she says, but people automatically, tilt towards her because of her personal brand as a person, not her business first. So I think it is very important to say this so that we put it in perspective. Don't wait until you start the business. Start building your brand. Start building the person that you want people to trust and buy from right now. So thank you so much for this opportunity, Damilola. It's been an amazing moment.
Awesome. Thank you. That's why you're LinkedIn to voice anyways, because you really know your audience around it. Thank you. I think I agree with I really agree with what you said, because nowadays social media is really linked to us as a people. Thank you so much, Aaron, for your contribution. Can we have Hashish again? I don't know if you can speak now.
A very good evening, Damilola. Lovely session, and a very hi to all the lovely 100+ people listening. This is Ash. You can call me Ash from India.
Oh, okay.
I have a question to you. I've got about 33,000 followers, and I've been spending a lot of my personal time in counseling, guiding people across the globe in terms of their personal as well as professional challenges they're kind of facing. And by today, I've also got the Top Leadership Voice badge.
Congratulations!
Thank you so much, Damilola. Thank you so much. So my question to you, and I've also been following you on LinkedIn very closely, wherein you have mentioned that if people do not have a content, if they cannot connect, there's something that's missing in the post. So my direct question to you is, why as coaches, as leaders, we really spend a lot of time in guiding coaching, how do we actually measure the brand impact at the end of the day? Any suggestions, any guidelines will be appreciated.
Do you mind if you can give some illustration so I can be able to answer effectively?
I just want to know, today we are a lot of leaders, who are spending I would say really our blood, our time and money in terms of helping people, without any vested interests.
Yeah.
We just want people to be, the world to be a more happier world. So my question is, how do we measure the brand impact? Is it by the number of followers? Is it by the number of lives we have made change? Or is the impact we are creating in the society? How do we actually measure the value of brand, impacting our brand? What would be our, how do we really measure it?
Okay, so that's a very interesting question. And I like to take it from this perspective that there are different ways we measure things. So if, for example, you are being a successful person that you are, you've got a whole amount of connections offline, and maybe the kind of connections you have are not really heavy on social media. And you know that you can call few of your contacts. Let's say you need an assistant, that's your contact in person, and they turn up for you real time. But if you're not saying that, okay, we should measure that, we can say that angle, you're extremely successful in that angle. And then if you're now saying, oh, we want to compare that, or we want to judge that based on the number of maybe followers that you have, or the numbers of engagement. Say, for example, you do not have as much engagement as you have online. We can't really judge you based on that angle. So I like to say that there are just different metrics for measurement. There are some coaches that are very good offline. They don't need to even be on social media to make money. But the thing about social media is that there are different angles you can view social media from. You can view social media as a way to maybe make money. You can view social media as a way to just grow your online presence. So you're not making your money from social media. You just want to have that visibility. And that means that you don't, just like Aaron said, not everybody wants to sell. You just want to put out your thought leadership. So that is another measure of being active online. There are some other people as well that they just want to create a network. There's some other people that you just want to use platforms like LinkedIn to get jobs. So there are different measures to it. Don't be afraid to try things. Don't be afraid to do some experiments. Don't be afraid to convert those numbers that you have into true fans by doing something extraordinary. I don't know if I was able to answer the question.
Sure, Damilola. I resonate with your thoughts, and thank you so much for your valuable inputs. It means a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.